Peace, internet. It's me, Vonnie, aka Davon Raymond, and welcome back to Lazy Vlogs. Lazy Vlogs. All right, it's been a while since we've done a lazy vlog. I got into this mindset that like the perfectionist mindset, you guys know what I mean. If the setup isn't perfect, if the weather isn't perfect, then I'm not going to record. But then that leaves me not ever posting anything, or I'll record it and I don't like, the lighting for half the video, so I trash it. It's annoying because I do want to give you guys higher quality, vlogs, and here we are recording on the GoPro Hero 10, I think. Rather as opposed to recording on my really, I don't know, out of date Motorola G Pen, whatever, I forget what it's called. I'm pretty sure G Pen's a weed product. No, this was something else. Let's see. Yeah, okay, nice. Got some Credit Karma notifications. We love this. I just want to say right now that I am working on doing live streams more in the future. So maybe even today I'll be doing a live stream on the Davon Raymond X. Sorry, my score went up a little bit on Credit Karma. But yeah, I like the idea of doing live streams again. I miss just having the fun, easy to make content. So Davon Raymond X on Twitch as well as YouTube. Though I think YouTube is where we're really going to be doing the live streams, but don't hold me to that. But yes, I am fully prepared, dressed. Check the outfit. Oh man, whenever I come to places like these, I always hope that it's going to be limited on the people. And right now, well, it's not quite the case. We got some people pulling up, so we'll just get rolling on. One thing I do like to do in my lazy vlogs is go just to places, I don't know, I don't frequent trails, but if I did, I don't really want to show off a trail that I would personally frequent, because unlike a random Tuesday afternoon in the spring, if I come here with a friend or just to chat on the phone or something, I don't really want to run into, oh, I remember you at this place. Like, no, I don't quite like that. But I do like sharing certain things that I do out in the world, and one of those things today is walking in a trail, a very snowy trail. I really, between you and me, I really thought it was going to be like plowed or something. This whole area normally is just black top, but we got the white top going right now. Speaking of white top, don't know how well you guys can tell, my mother, she literally told me, don't go sharing with people that I braided your hair, because she hadn't braided it in months, just for, reasons going on or whatever. And so no one had braided my hair for like 3 months or something. And she's like, look, it's going to be rough for the first couple of times, so just don't go around saying, oh yeah, she did such a great job. But no, the white top I'm referring to is like the 2 or 3 gray / white hairs you can see developing on my freaking scalp, guys. Am I that stressed? I mean, I only just turned 30. How stressed could I really be living at my mother's house? Wow, just check this view. I guess you guys have been watching this more than me because I'm staring at the damn camera screen. But look at this view. This is awesome. I feel like I could record some type of video here, aside from a lazy vlog, just kind of like, some type of reel or YouTube short. Yeah. So I've seen a lot of YouTubers. They've been using, is it like Holly Jolly? I don't know what Holly Juice, I don't know what it's called. These different microphones that you just clip, Holiday something. You just clip it to your, it's like a lav mic or whatever, lavalier mic. I think that's awesome. I definitely want something like that. There are a couple of different brands, Rode being like the main one. Man, this is amazing. So this tripod that I'm using is like all metal and like hard plastic, but there's this foam grip on one of the legs that I can hold. It feels great. Feels great to grab something soft and not just cold metal when I'm out and about. I think now is a good time to take a quick break, and I'll set the camera straight in the snow, the tripod. And on the way over here, I actually went to a local pizza shop and got a slice of pepperoni, so don't know if there's any in my teeth, but I also got some Dr. Pepper, so cheers to the Dr. Pepper fans. Really not the refreshing beverage you want to have when you're walking in the trails, but if Dr. Pepper ever wants to sponsor me in the future, then hey, I'll crack a cold can on my winter trails. It's great. Smile. Okay. Whew. But yeah, this is great. I really love doing this type of stuff. There were a couple of other trails I was thinking about going to, but I decided, as I'm like outside and freezing my everything off, that, you know, maybe it's not worth it. You know, maybe on a somewhat nicer day. You know, I actually saw, so I'm in upstate New York, if you guys didn't know, you know, not in Michigan or some other place with cold snow in January or February now. I don't think I've posted since my birthday. Okay, so happy birthday, happy belated to me. In the middle of January is my birthday, and I turned 30. Woohoo! What does that mean for me? I don't know. What does that mean for the internet, my channel, and all of that? Practically nothing. I was gonna do a 30 things I learned at 30. You know how like everyone does, but I don't think I've learned much, to be honest. I've learned that I like to make the same mistakes over and over again. That's something I've certainly learned. Oh gosh. Okay, so I have not been to this place in a very long time, and it looks like we have some updates, some changes. I guess they put up a fence. I came here a long time ago to do a photo shoot with my friend Wilson, who runs the Heat and Salt private catering company, and here in upstate New York, and this was like many years ago. We were in the trails. He's also a photographer. We took some photos, or really he took some photos of me. And they didn't, that fence was not up there, so things have changed. Okay, cool. So we are going to the frozen pond first, and maybe that will be maybe that'll be all for this lazy vlog. It has been a while. I feel guilty. I feel like I owe you guys more than just a quick 10-minute vlog, you know. There is a good trail here. I think it's about a mile and I don't know, mile and a half. Whew. And it's a loop trail, I believe, so it could be worth it to either make a separate video or do a live stream. Maybe we'll do the live stream here on the Davon Raymond X YouTube channel. What do you guys think, huh? Is that worth it? Is that fun? Sounds fun to me. At the same time, I am cold, like very cold. So part of me just wants to probably sign off here. Oh yeah. Got a fallen branch. We're still going to take this path. Very nice. Very nice. It was a hassle to even get my GoPro ready today. Unfortunately, I haven't used it in so long. When I went to charge it, it wasn't charging. I had to fiddle with the charging port a little bit, and then finally it started to work. I was thinking to myself, like, dang, I gotta use my camera more because this thing doesn't even want to turn on. Literally, it wouldn't charge or light up or anything. Whew! Okay. Oh, you guys didn't come all the way out here just to see that view. Where's the frozen pond? Back you guys up a little bit. You know, nice. 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 Yeah. So, phone's going off. My friend Hannah saying hello, probably. She's my friend who lives out in, I don't know if they really want me to say the details, but they love where they live on the West Coast. And we have similar weather, but not exactly. They're like, oh, we don't have any snow. Well, lucky you guys. I guess now that I'm saying West Coast and cold, that you can narrow where I'm talking about, but I won't say explicitly. But yeah, they're just messaging me now. So I don't really know if I should say this, but there is one little story I can share with you guys, just because, you know, we're already here, why not? So back in 2024, I ended up moving at the end of 2024 back to upstate New York from Rhode Island. And when I was living in Rhode Island for the last like 3 months, and then for like the last 4-ish months or so, I was working at Amazon as a delivery driver, and it was fun at times and it was rough at times. But I can't help but think when I do things like DoorDash, Uber Eats, or Amazon delivery, I can't help but think back to the good times when I would have like those random experiences, pulling into a new area that I've never seen, and it's like nice and rich, and there's an Australian father who you're delivering to who chats with you, you know, with his thick accent in the middle of, you know, eastern Massachusetts. You know, like, you don't think in eastern Massachusetts you're going to be interacting with an Australian father, and yet there you go. So or in western Massachusetts, honestly, Mass has a lot going on. Now that I think about it, a lot of these stories that I can think about are somewhat are in Rhode Island, others in upstate New York and elsewhere. But Massachusetts, I spent a lot of time driving through, visiting, you know, either side of the state. But I remember East Coast, or rather, I remember in Western Mass, near to the border of New York, there was this one lake, and you have so many lake towns and things like that in let me give you guys another little angle here. Maybe it'll give me some more of a cool, fashionable looking swag. Not really. Anyway, so there was this lake town in western Massachusetts, and there was this Dunkin' Donuts that was right on the lake. No, I don't mean in the center. I mean like right on the edge, how we're right on the edge of the pond. It was just like that, except it was massive. Now this pond goes out pretty dang far, you know, compared to this little like deck, but it was really cool. I'm like, wow, there's like, you know, as you guys probably know, like classic or whatever the design for Dunkin' Donuts restaurants are, you have glass panes around, like, you know, most of the building. So you imagine, you see, you know, our deciduous forest here, right? The different types of trees you have here in the Northeast, which looks beautiful, very campy, lake life, that type of stuff. So you got that going on in the background, a beautiful glassy lake, and you have in the foreground a very nice upper, just like they clearly put money into this Dunkin'. You know, you saw nice gray like stones in the front, like brick stone things, to, you know, kind of like make it look more fancy, more like a castle or something. It was honestly so cool. And it's just things like that, so many different trails, little nature spots, pullover spots, things that I've seen in the East Coast during my Amazon driving and whatnot, DoorDash. It really gets me excited about life. It makes me want to explore more of not only my local area, but, you know, just more areas in general. I'm not going to say I'm Mr. Nature and that everything I do is, you know, related to outdoors or anything, but it really is a good time whenever I can get out and explore something new. Trails are cool. I think we all like trails and seeing nature stuff. One time I remember in a new trail I went to, unfortunately, there was like a mega massive deer. I don't even know what to call it. You know, if you guys ever seen a deer in person, like a large one, their bodies are like thicker than tree trunks, so they're huge animals, and you know, imposing, tall, and all of that. And I'm not a very tall dude. I don't know how tall I appear on camera. I don't know what I look like to you guys, but I'm definitely not a tall guy. I think on a good day, if I've stretched and my spine is in order, I'm like 5'8". Other than that, surely 5'7" and change. And likely shrinking due to my arthritis. Anyway, or bamboo spine or whatever they call it. Anyway. That's referencing Don Rickles, if you guys are familiar with him. I've been cracking up to his comedy. I didn't know about him, learned about him in the past couple of days, been watching his stuff, loving his interviews with, you know, Carson and all that. Rest in peace, very hilarious gentleman. Anyway, he's so good. He really, I wish I had seen him but I think he had passed, I don't know. I know he was alive around 2010, but 2010 I was 14 or something, so I wasn't really, like, you know, I don't know how old I was, something like that though. So I wasn't thinking about stand-up comedy or anything like that. I was thinking about girls, and really Xbox I think really was the main focus, to be honest. You know, my best friends, Xbox, and in a couple of years I was going to, you know, get addicted to weed. But at the age 14 I was all right. I was a nice plucky young lad. Anyway, so many stories, but I guess really what I want to say is I think at times I feel like I'm going backwards when I'm making certain decisions with jobs and whatnot. I was recently working at a grocery store. We have these Hannafords in, like, I didn't know they were outside of New York. They're also in, like, Maine and I think a few other New England states, which is cool. And maybe they're expanding outside of the Northeast, which would be great. I don't know. But I've worked in other, you know, like grocery store, retail type of jobs, making between, you know, 15 and 19 or 15 and $18 an hour. And it's easy work. It's boring. It's repetitive. It's soul sucking, to be honest. But ultimately, when you're working, you know, by the hour, when you're working, you know, under $20 an hour, whatever the fuck you're getting paid, $25 an hour, when you're making that, obviously your money that you can make, the ceiling, the most hours, a lot of these places, they don't want you to have overtime. So the most money you can ever make in a week is this specific amount. And that means you're capped, you know. So it doesn't mean you can't save and you can't make moves and you can't do smart moves with your money. You absolutely can. But it also it takes more time to build up or to make certain moves when your checks aren't rising above $425 a week. You know what I mean? It's just, there's only so much you can do. And so at times I get frustrated when I'm like, dang, at age 29 I went back to working, not as a manager or supervisor, but just as a worker at a grocery store. And it was simple work, and some days it was fun. You get along with the coworkers, you laugh. Everyone, you know, gets along for the most part, and it's enjoyable. You look forward to going to work because you enjoy your job. It's easy. You get more familiar over time. Yeah, there's a potential that you could be, you know, whatever the moves, the upward moves are in a grocery store, you have the potential for that to happen for you, which is great. But at the same time, I know myself. I know, you know, what gets me excited about life and what kind of makes me feel like this is boring and I'm wasting my time. And when I'm doing jobs like that, I feel like, you know, I know that I can do more. I know that I need to do more. And I'm not asking more of myself. So let's get this party going. Let's go. You know, what are we doing? So I recently put in my 2 weeks at this grocery store. I no longer work there as of like the beginning of February. Happy February 4th, I think it is today, something like 4th or 5th or something. So that's pretty cool. Happy New Year. Don't know if I made a video in 2026 yet, but cheers, guys. Good luck to you. So I have worked harder in the past, and I feel like I've made bigger moves and had more control in my life when I had certain focus going on, when I was actually pursuing something. And when I was pursuing something, it's because I felt connected and I had some identity identifying with whatever it was I was pursuing. Excuse me, sorry, that Dr. Pepper is coming back. Anyway, so how many times am I gonna say anyway? I'm watching too many Don Rickles interviews on The Late Show. Anyway, sorry, it's so funny when he does it. It really is funny when he does it. Because it's usually like he'll say something messed up and then say anyway to dismiss however they may have reacted to the messed up thing in favor of saying, like, it's so he can go then say something else. It's so funny. It's great. It's great. So I know that I've worked harder and I've had a better life when I was. So, and one of those things that came along with it was exploration, and I feel better. Like I said, I feel good about exploring new areas and whatnot. So I've decided to return to Amazon And you know, they're not, I mean, my old job I was making $16.50, then the next job I was making $17 to $17.50, and now these guys are paying $22.50, which, I mean, $22.50, it's not a humongous amount of money. It's Amazon. Every Amazon's gonna pay, you know, a little bit more than these other jobs, because you're driving all day long and you're hustling, really, and you got to keep things moving. You know, am I in love with Amazon? Is it the job of my dreams? I mean, you're a mailman, you know, you're a mailman who's got to hustle a little bit more, and you probably just have to be a little bit smarter with your finances, because these DSPs, these Amazon delivery service partners, I don't think they're going to offer things like 401ks and whatnot. So you probably just have to be a little bit more independent with investing your money for retirement and other things like that. But I think more or less you are a mailman, and you know, there's potential there. One of the things I really like with doing the Amazon job is that you can apply to work basically at any Amazon DSP across the nation, and we have Amazon outside of the US, so one day I could be delivering Amazon in, you know, Canada or something. Do I want to be doing that? Maybe if I'm living in Montreal, that'd be pretty sweet, but you know what I mean, like, there's just things to consider. And when you're having a job, and I know, even though I enjoy living in upstate New York, I've also enjoyed living outside of upstate New York. It really is true to my personality that I want to be exploring elsewhere other than what I've always known. So I believe going back to Amazon, and in doing that, you know, having the free time outside of that to really make content and just chat with you guys, do my lazy vlogs, I think this is a good move. I think we're making a good stride in the direction of just, you know, I hope in a few months, and I've said this in the past, but I think I have a better head on my shoulders now, that I'll have much better credit. Shouts out to the Credit Karma app that was buzzing me earlier. I'll have much better credit, and I will hopefully have a car that's not going to be a piece of crap that's going to fall apart on the first video. You know, part of the frustration around not making much content with my new Peace Coast Apparel business is that I want to be able to drive to locations and, you know, be inspired by those locations, and then take that inspiration and make a video. Whew, these little ducks are telling me to wrap it up. All right, thank you, duckies, thank you. And I like the idea of driving to the beach and wearing and showing off my content by the beach, and my, you know, the shirts by the beach. Like, that's how I want to sell my stuff, not just, you know, making AI videos and whatever and all that stuff. I want to be like, hey, I'm on location with my stuff. I love the beach. I'm a beach goer. I'm a coast guy, and I want, you know, you to believe that when you purchase my stuff, because you're going to be, you know, made by coast people for coast people with coast people and mindset in mind. So I like that. So just, there's a lot of the things that I want to get rolling on really just require me to lock in, to work harder, to push for jobs where I make more money, to expect more from myself ultimately, and yeah, just to really set myself up for success, rather than kind of like, I'm making $17 at a grocery store, you know, the job's easy, I like my coworkers, you know, maybe eventually I'll be able to get where I want to be, but for now I'm okay with this. You know, I'm not okay with that. I'm not, because I wasn't even getting full time at the grocery store, you know what I mean? Like, you know, there were people who are 5 years younger than me who were making, you know, $200 more a week than me, and that's fine. Like, good for them. I'm not jealous. I'm like, that just shows me I need to really get it in gear. That's not anything on these younger people making money. This is, I need to be, as far as how I hold myself up to the standard of, you know, by comparison to younger people, it's like, you were already their age. Now you need to be, you know, like blowing past them, because you've already made those mistakes. You need to be, you know, elsewhere, further down the road of life. So it's really just negative reinforcement, but it's good. It helps me. All right, unfortunately my GoPro died. I'm very sad about that. I mean, we left the house on like 60%, so I didn't expect it to be perfect, but hey, I really do appreciate you guys for joining and checking out Lazy Vlogs. I hope that you subscribe to the Davon Raymond X YouTube channel and keep your eyes peeled for more of this type of content. Today we ran a little long because it's been a while since I've chatted with you, and I really just love doing this type of content. Chatting, talking, updating you, and that's really all I got. But if you guys want to go back and check, I'm going to be doing a quick live stream as I walk a little bit along the trails there. They say it's a loop, so maybe we'll get like a cool view going there. I don't know. Is it worth it? Should I? Or should I just pack it up and go home? Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Until then, peace.